Quadrilla Marble League, the relay race, is a classic speed-based event, but it incorporates all 4 marbles of each team, and you need the best combination of those 4 marbles to sprint to the finish line and advance over your opponent. Of course, the relay race is a tournament-style format. You have to beat your team on the other lane in order to advance. In this event, we've had it twice passed before, Season 1 and Season 2, won by 2 different teams. We'll see how it goes in this season. Valley Dashers and the Green Lotus hold the top 2 spots after Event 6, but the Efficient Eggs with their golden block pushing are right up there with them. Bobble Squad and Red Lotus are rounding out the top 5. Valley Dashers and Team Atlantic, the 2 teams facing off in the first heat. Valley Dashers, the record holders of the relay, they are one of the favorites to take this event as the championship leaders. We are underway. Team Atlantic, and they both fall off after the first handoff. And the stewards are saying it's a false start. It's a bit of a track defect there, so they're just gonna reset it. Seem to have fixed the issue, and we're underway. Valley Dashers have the lead over Team Atlantic, and Team Atlantic are not going to advance here. The home team is in 16th place in the championship. They had 2 last places in a row before this, and it's another poor event for them, at least in the bottom half. Valley Dashers 5.68. Their record, by the way, from Season 1, 5.20 seconds. So that's tough to beat. The Valley Dashers comfortably are moving on. Green Lotus and the Aquamarines now in the second heat. Green Lotus changing their lineup, starting with Clover, then going to Lilypad, then Plant, and ending with Cactus. Aquamarines have their normal lineup, and it's very close between them, and going to the end, I think the Aquamarines might have tipped them across the line. Look at this. Aquamarines, after the first handoff, they get ahead, and then Green Lotus bring it back. Green Lotus ahead after the final handoff, but a great final leg from the captain of the Aquamarines, and by 11/100ths of a second, they are moving on ahead of the Green Lotus. Talk about going down to the wire. So we see the Efficient Eggs and the Shadow Riders. These 2 teams faced each other in block pushing. Efficient Eggs pulling an upset victory over them. The Shadow Riders, gold medalists in Season 2 relay. They are hoping to move on here. It's knotted after the first half. Who's gonna get the win? It's very close. And I have no idea who won that. Look at this. Efficient Eggs marginally ahead, but then they get even more ahead there, but they don't have a good final transition, and the Shadow Riders close up very well. I'm gonna go to another instant slow motion replay. Who's going to get this one? Oh, I still don't know. It's incredibly knotted between these 2 teams. We'll wait for timing and scoring to say what it is. 5.72 for both teams, and they're deeming it a tie. And that means we're going to go to a tiebreaker race, the first time we've ever seen this happen in the relay race. Efficient Eggs and the Shadow Riders, they're going to go once again to see who advances. Shadow Riders trying to advance and potentially stake a claim for another medal in this event. Oh, they had a poor start, but great second leg, and the Efficient Eggs could not catch up. The Efficient Eggs, poor second handoff. Look at this. Efficient Eggs ahead. Here's the Shadow Riders. Great speed, and then they just continue to stretch it. And the Shadow Riders pretty comfortably in this one, going to be moving on. 5.34 seconds. That is a great time. Efficient Eggs 5.67. I think is still the best out of those that aren't advancing, but they are unfortunate to not move on. Now Bobble Squad and the Slime Balls. Slime Balls also changed their lineup after they got last in this event last season, their worst event, as the defending champions. Now it is Slime Balls well out in front. That lineup change working very well for them. Uzi starting it, and the Bobble Squad didn't change their lineup, and they're miles behind here. Uzi then going to Viscous, the reserve. They played part well here in 5.5 seconds. That is good from them. And Slippery, the anchor marble for the Slime Balls. Unconventional lineup change for them. It seems to be working out for now. Now Red Lotus and the Hazelnuts. Hazelnuts also have a lineup change, but it's only just swapping their captain Hazel and their vice captain Filibert. And they are trailing the Red Lotus right now. Red Lotus winners of this event, Season 1. Oh, but it's very close up until the end. Hazelnuts, having never done this event before, because they weren't in the Season 2 qualifiers, going toe-to-toe with the winners of this event 2 seasons ago. but the Red Lotus. They will marginally beat the Hazelnuts, but that's what matters. They get the win, and the Hazelnuts, they got close, but a 5.86 seconds time is not good enough to beat the Red Lotus. Now, Majestic Melons and the Icicles. No lineup changes here, despite Majestic Melons having a fair few in this season. Oh, but a great start on the top by Wintermelon. Icicles trying to close up, but I don't think it's going to happen. Icicles had a terrible start. They had a good comeback in their second marble, but I think their third marble, Sleet, could not get a good transition to their Captain Ice. So the Icicles, also the only other team aside from the Hazelnuts to not have done this event before in this event, they go down in the heats to the Majestic Melons. Now, Yellow Lotus and the Deep Divers. Yellow Lotus, you can see Sunflower back in there as the anchor marble. That is because they are going to their previous lineup, try to see if they can extract a good performance there. Deep Divers got a silver in this event in Season 1. Marginally ahead are the Deep Divers, and they stretch it in the end. And the Yellow Lotus are unable to respond. Deep Divers going to get another top half finish. They've got no medals yet, surprisingly. All the way up to Event 7 right now. They're hoping that they can do it finally in Event 7. Now, Deep Divers 5.67, fairly good time. Yellow Lotus, not a good time. Now, Celestials and the Poison Ivy in the final heat. These two teams faced in the Season 2 qualifiers against each other. Poison Ivy knocked out the Celestials in qualification in Season 2 because of it. Celestials and Poison Ivy very close. Celestials get ahead, and they will get their revenge by getting ahead of the Poison Ivy. Poison Ivy, in fact, also had a lineup change of their own, with subbing in Elixir, their former reserve, back in the blocks. That is also because they wanted to mimic their lineup from Season 2, which got them a silver in this event last season. Celestials, though, able to respond better, and they are moving to the quarterfinals. Efficient Eggs, best of the rest, with Green Lotus and Team Atlantic, their third last place in a row. They're going to be needing some serious discussion within that team after this event. Now, Valley Dashers and the Aquamarines as they head to the quarterfinals. Valley Dashers strong in this event both seasons and have the record. They are one of the favorites here, and they will beat the Aquamarines. It was looking close up until the final handoff. This Aquamarine just holding with them, hoping to pull an upset victory here, but then I think that run up to their final handoff from their second marble opal didn't manage to get a good run, and so 6.14 seconds, that is one of the slowest times of the day. They are likely not going to be in the top part of those non-advancers. Alright, now we head to quarterfinal B, Shadow Riders and the Slime Balls, the first place and 16th place teams in this event last season. The Shadow Riders getting gold, Slime Balls 16th. But Slime Balls looking rejuvenated with their new lineup for this event. Slime Balls, though, trailing the Shadow Riders, but they catch up, and the Slime Balls, will they hold on? They will! The Slime Balls pull an upset victory here over the gold medalists of this event last season. And that was Slimy, the captain, the third marble in this event, getting it done for the team by 1300ths of a second. They usurp the Shadow Riders. It's unfortunate for the Shadow Riders, hoping to get their first medal of the season here as well. Now, Red Lotus and the Majestic Melons. Red Lotus, of course, winners of this event in Season 1. Majestic Melons got bronze in this event last season. Both these teams are past medalists. Red Lotus had the lead. Majestic Melons taken now. Red Lotus trying to catch up, and we are knotted once again going to the finish line. Once again, I have no clue who got the win there. We might be going to yet another tiebreaker round. Look at this, Majestic Melons had the lead, and then Red Lotus trying frantically to make up ground. Majestic Melons not letting up. And once again, I have no clue who got the win there by 1/100th of a second. It is the Red Lotus moving on to the semifinals. Majestic Melons, so unfortunate to not. They do have the best time of the non-advancers with a 5.68. Now, Deep Divers and the Celestials to face the Red Lotus in the semifinals. Who will be the last advancing team in the quarters? Deep Divers have the lead, but Celestials, great comeback from them, and the Deep Divers can do nothing about it. Celestials knock them out and are going to the semifinals. Celestials, look at that second half. Great third and fourth leg from Supernova and Cosmos, the captain, and 5.27 seconds, just 700ths of a second off the record held by the Valley Dashers. Deep Divers, unfortunate to not advance, 5.58, that is a good time, but it's not good enough to get the win in that quarterfinal, so they get 5th place. And now, Valley Dashers and the Slime Balls, our championship leader and defending champion in this semi-final. Valley Dashers perhaps the best relay team. Slime Balls coming off last season, but the Slime Balls are ahead. Valley Dashers trying to catch up, but I don't think they managed to do it. The Valley Dashers and the Slime Balls pulling it out in the second leg. That's Viscous the reserve, and they hold it up until the end where Slippery's just slowing down, but they hold on by 800ths of a second. 5.55 is good enough to usurp the championship leaders, and the Slime Balls are in the final, guaranteeing their best result of the entire season. Now, Red Lotus and the Celestials. Which team will face the Slime Balls in the final? Will it be the Red Lotus, who have good history in this event, or will it be the Celestials with the fastest time in the event? Celestials, they tried to catch up once again with that last marble. That was Cosmos. The captain doing very well. It's not good enough to beat the Red Lotus. Red Lotus getting another top 2 finish in this season and another top 2 finish in the relay race. Now, Valley Dashers and the Celestials, they went down in the semifinals, but they might not go down here, seeing if they can deny the championship leaders of another medal. Valley Dashers and the Celestials, both of these teams have done well in this event. Both have been knocked out here, and they're very close. Celestials marginally ahead, and they are marginally going to stay that way as the Celestials pick up bronze, their 2nd medal in a row. Very well done to this team, who has been last just 2 events ago. They are certainly gonna be well off that. By 600ths of a second only, actually, it was pretty close. Valley Dashers also close. They were 3rd, 5th, and now 4th across 3 seasons in the relay. But now for the final. Slime Balls and the Red Lotus, our defending champion and a past gold medalist in the sprint. Slime Balls, they beat the Shadow Riders. Can they beat the Red Lotus? Red Lotus slowing down, and the Slime Balls pull another upset victory, and now they have gotten their 1st gold of this season. The Slime Balls get the win in the relay race ahead of the Red Lotus. Both of these teams kind of fizzling out a bit in the final. I think they used up their energy before. Red Lotus going into the 6 time zones, but it is still good enough to get the silver. Very well done to the Slime Balls. They needed that. Down in 13th coming into this event. They will get a nice boost in the standings. Red Lotus pick up another medal, trying to give chase to the Valley Dashers, who got 4th in this event, and the Celestials another medal in a row. After a poor start, they're hoping to make a nice comeback going to the second half of the season. But the Slime Balls back on top, their 2nd medal of the season, after their bronze and balancing. Their 1st gold rises them up to 9th place, just off the top half. Celestials surprisingly don't move up at all. They've caught up to the rest of the pack. Red Lotus rising 3 up to 2nd place, just 4 points off the Valley Dashers. Efficient Eggs, Green Lotus, Majestic Melons, Bauble Squad, Yellow Lotus, Celestials running out the top half. On the other end, Team Atlantic over 10 points off. Aquamarines in 15, they are hoping to make a nice comeback in the next event because it will suit them swimming.